Okay, let's start the first Kubebuilder meeting from January 12, 2023. Please don't say nothing that you don't would like to be in the internet for all posterity. So, okay. I put some items here. I think we don't have any new faces, so I think we can jump for the office hours. Is that okay?
I'm actually new. I don't know
Oh,
if we're sharing
sorry.
faces or not, but no, it's all good. um, yeah, just a quick intro. My name's Andrew. I work at Cloudflare, and on the Kubernetes side, we spend a bunch of time working on some of the larger clusters there. Yeah, just kind of curious on what everyone's doing in here and seeing if makes sense to spend some effort helping out.
No, that is amazing. Really thank you, Andrew, for your introduction. Um, have you any other person that is new that you'd like to introduce yourself? That you go inside now?
No, just me.
Yes, you.
Think so.
Okay, really thank you. That is amazing. See you here. What you try to do, we have this meeting each 2 weeks, and we try to discuss the topics about the project. So feel free to, the next time also put topics, or feel free to ask anything or give your opinion and inputs, right? That is very important for the project. So the first one is about this one. I put it here. We merge the change of the layout for Go V4 Alpha, and we have the customized V2 Alpha as well. I think the next step would be we make the new versions be stable, and we make the full in the CLI as well. So I try to just put here, right, some this one we did, right, change the layout. So we have this one as well, make it better use of customized base. We could check, and I try to put here more or less what would be the steps, right? I would like to know, what do you think about, if you know, if it has any issue that we should address before making it stable. If you have any idea about how we could do this strategy, should we ask for people as well, like their thoughts about we sending the channel in the email. Um, if someone would like to do any request before, that could be a breaking change that need to be addressed before be stable. So feel free.
I'm kind of fine with moving Go V4 Alpha and V2 Alpha to stable. I think we have had enough, I wouldn't say enough, but a couple of users who have tried V4 Alpha, and we also have fixed a few things. But as we did with V3, we could probably bring it up in the channel, ask folks if they have any issues, and have probably give them week or two's time, have a deadline, wait till any issues come up, and then probably move them to stable. Because in my experience, the recent questions which have been coming in channel and also at other places are related to V4 Alpha. So I feel that people have been trying that out.
Okay, that's great. I'm putting here communicating the channels. Uh, let's define a timeline to make stable. Has been using
And just one question related to that, a stable release of a plugin would warrant another minor release of Kubebuilder, or how would we like to go ahead with that?
There is addition, right? So we have a document. Let's open here to share where in the past when we discuss the plugin ecosystem, we try to define a policy to help us exactly in these moments. So this is here. So new plugins versions is fine. We don't need to create a new Kubebuilder versions, right? Because it has no breaking change. In Gigi, if you make it stable, has no breaking change, because if someone is using Go v3, is still, using the future versions of the CLI without breaking anything. However, one thing that I was looking here was like, if we remove, that is good. Indeed, like everybody recheck these and see if I'm missing something. But if you remove one version, right? If you will remove one plugin, like we want to remove Go v2, right? Because it make no sense. We keep that version in the project. But to remove Go v2, according with our policy, we need to make a Kubebuilder 4.0. I tried to put this point in some place here as well. Here. No, I think I didn't. Sorry. Here. I put it here. So my idea was like, that is the second point, right? My idea was like, we try to track everything that would justify a new Kubebuilder version, right? Then when we have enough, we can go there and move it forward. I don't know if you have enough like soon, right? Because I don't know exactly what you we would remove beyond Go v2.
Yeah, this makes sense. I just had one follow-up issue with the declarative patterns, but I've added that to the agenda. I can bring that up when
Yeah,
we get to that point.
that is something, right? If we deprecated, if we all agree to deprecated the declarative partner plugin, we can also like that is another argumentation for we have it for X, right? Because then in Kubebuilder 4.0 we could remove both. That is a really good point.
That makes sense. I'm fine with moving both of them to stable, and like probably when we get to a point where we remove the V2 plugin, we can create another release of Kubebuilder.
Yeah, maybe what do you think about we move this one for here and then we discuss to here? Because I also put like a, okay, let's see. In the case of the V2, right? Theoretically, I think if you remove the plugin, follow the policy, we need like bump a new Kubebuilder CLI. The Go V2 was a plugin just to ensure the backwards compatibility with Kubebuilder 2.x. So maybe, maybe we could say that this is an exception if we check that in the long term it would be only Go V2, but I don't know if it's nice as well, like because we define the policy, right? So the best thing would be if we could just stick with the policy, but also like I'm open to the suggestions, like because we need to check how much will be the effort to bump Kubebuilder for .x. I think it's not too much, but we need to see, we need to change create the branch for the documents as few things, right? Because the latest documents are, we have a book V3, book V2, and then you have a book V4 as well, has few things to change. And I don't know, one, I will come back that for there. Sorry for my confusion. Today I'm too confusing. Let's see. So why duplicate why I'm asking if you think that to duplicate the declarative V1 would be good, right? Like I think before we discuss that, we can speak about the blocker that we have now for the release. Right? Every time that we bump Kubernetes, we need to bump this project. If we don't bump, we will face problems. We need to bump, get the latest commit after to get merged, and then update the Kubebuilder, and then do the Kubernetes bumps together, right? In this case, we are blocked with them. I think they are looking to do another project related to his declarative partner. I don't know. I don't know if I think Justin is not here. We need to speaking better with them. I try to get more information. And I don't know how much people has been actually using the declarative plugin partner as well. Another problem with it is one is like if something change in the project itself, we might need to change the plugin layout, add things, change things. And since we are not very skilled or very synced aligned with the project, maybe we are not updating properly, right? The plugin. Like we are not adding the new features, we are not adding the scaffold things that are relevant for the project itself. So one of the ideas would be like move the declarative plugin for phase 2. Like if we could create, like Varsha put here, just create the plugin in their project inside of their repository, and then they start to be responsible to maintain, but it's still possible to use the same thing with Kubebuilder yet. We don't lose the implementation, right? For who doesn't know, the phase 2 plugin phase 2 is an implementation that we introduce in one API that allows you create your own plugins, and then you build a binary executable from the plugin, and then you can use this one with a Kubebuilder exactly. But the plugin is no longer your own plugin, is not shipped inside of the code of the Kubebuilder, right? It's like not maintained by Kubebuilder itself, but allows you create how many plugins do you want and use with the tool and together with the other features.
I am kind of leaning towards moving it to phase 2 and then deprecating and removing out of Kubebuilder so that we are not dependent on it. I just wanted to bring this up because during the break, I was just working on some kind of PR to remove this out of Kubebuilder. If folks don't have any opinion on that, we can have a PR to move it to a separate plugin and then remove it, unless there are folks who want it inside the Kubebuilder.
The only thing is like, are the owners of this project you accepted? Like, I think if you we go there and we ship the create a pull request to create the plugin, move the plugin for their project, right? And you put the code on top to use the phase two, I think they will be okay with that, right? Because if you look the message here, they are thinking build a generator tool, another thing like to use it with its idea. So
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I can create a PR for them and probably get their views on how they want to proceed with it.
yeah, we can also try to see if they agree, right? Before I have the effort, like, because it's a big effort, right? It's not big, maybe it's not big, right? Because we are just copying the page, the whole plugin, and we just need to add on top like the things to use the API, right? Replace the things to use the API instead. Maybe it's not too much, but it's some kind of effort, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Action items, right? I put it here. Has any other person that you'd like to speak about this one? No, the silence.
I was
Yeah.
just, sorry, I was
Go,
just agreeing.
go.
Seems like they're also going in the same direction, as in they're not going to use Kubebuilder anymore, or that's what it looks like from the comments. So
Yeah.
it would be good to move it out of tree.
Yes. Speak with them. And check if that to push the helpful if it would be acceptable, right? We try to push API to move the plugin to the helper using phase two. Do you think that do you think, folks, that we should like do a poll in the mailing list, ask if people has been using this project or something like that? Because looking the issues, I don't see many issues open about this one. Actually, no. I think I could not find too much thing like people asking, I'm trying, how I do that, or this, or I'm facing problems. Do you think that some kind of survey in the community to be helpful, like to justify the application, or that is not required?
We could create a announcement. I don't know the exact section in discussion, sorry. We could create a discussion and probably wait if we get any inputs on it. But in the meanwhile, it would be nice to create an issue in Kubebuilder declarative pattern and check their inputs on how they would like to proceed.
Only gentle. So removing the dependence. If someone disagree, please let you know. So we can do a poll, né? We can do a poll. Component. Some if we have users adopting JSON. Okay. This one I will put for me in the you, Varsha, Camila, Varsha. This one I will put for us as well. What I did. And if they be okay with that, we can come back in the next meeting with the results of the pool, and then we can track an issue and see if he'll be able to work, or any other person would like to try this one also. We can.
Sounds good.
I think it's after I can try to improve these comments. Okay, this one, should we discuss, like, I think it is one we need to first decide what we will do with the declarative one. I think we will deprecate it. When we define it is one, we can come back and see if we can, like, looking for the new Kubebuilder version. What do you do? What do you think, folks? That makes sense? Like, come back to this topic, right? Like, how you do the actual removals after the deprecation. Like, the correct thing would be like use the policy and create a new Kubebuilder major version. Any objection that, like, we come back and you put it here, but let me know if you don't agree, right? We can change. We came back to discuss Kubebuilder v4 x. Hit out the definition regards the declarative. How much do we is that okay? Makes sense that, like, if someone disagree, please let me know. We can change.
Yeah, this looks good to me.
De Maria is here because all topics here has one of the Varsha and one from Di Maria.
Yeah, hey, I added this is Andrew. I added the last line.
So for
talk to that.
Since I put so many topics, what do you think about we move this for top, for we give it the chance as well for Varsha and the others, and then if you have time we can continue.
Sounds good to me.
So Varsha, go forward.
So this was regarding the spam emails which we are getting regarding marketing of Kubebuilder books. I don't know if any of the folks were bothered about it. I just wanted to bring that up because we faced a similar issue with operator framework, and then we had a few permissions changed on who can submit queries in the email or send emails to the entire group. So I just wanted to ask if folks are getting bothered about it. If not, do you guys want to leave it as it is, then it's fine. If folks are getting bothered, then do we need to make any changes on the permission side of things? If we want to restrict who can send emails, whether they need to be approved by owners or something of that sort. So yeah.
We have it 1, 2, 3 at least, right?
If it's not bothering or like it's rare, then it's something we need not take an action on. But if it's something,
So I would definitely clean those up.
Yes, yeah.
It's familiar voice, huh?
Yeah, I was happy to see you here.
They're just going to cause noise, and
then
it
so that's actually
basically makes it look like the list is not maintained. So
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Do you think that it has a filter that we could use, or like we need to put something like we need to go there and approve the emails manually?
that's, sorry, did I cut someone off?
no, I'm unmuting and muting. So go ahead.
So that was one of the option, like approving the emails manually. The other option, I don't know what operator framework folks did. I would probably have to ask them if they had a better filter to figure out the spam emails or something.
I guess it could be just blocking the email that sends spam. I don't know which is less work, approving every sort of good email or blocking the bad ones.
That's a good idea too, if you're getting the spam email just from that particular sender.
Yeah, which may not be the case.
Sorry, child. Actually, you might block spams on manual approve. And the manual approval, I think it's bad, like because of time-wise, right? It's like if you don't have time to manually approve, creates a blocker, right?
Yeah, it kind of generates work kind of thing.
Yeah. I might able to block spams. So as action item, if you agree, Varsha, I can put for you or me. Has one guy from Google. I think he can help us.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
follow up with the admin and check if there's something which we can do on this.
So, okay, the next one, Andrew. Unless someone would like to speak more about Chiefs, feel free as well.
Okay. So I've been working on trying to create a an API service using like the extension concept. Yeah, typically we've done a lot of CRDs and whatnot, and that works great. But we found a recent use case for doing an API service because we needed a data model that didn't use etcd. And in the process of doing so, we've obviously found the API server runtime project, but have kind of found some rough edges around that project. And I'm just kind of curious on, does it make sense? Are people still working on that project? Is it valuable to continue putting effort into it, or are people going different ways with the the extension points for API servers?
That is a good question. Someone has some input to share? Has no too much
So-
contributions, right?
Yeah, so from what I understand, I, recently I've been involved in some thoughts of potentially creating an API server as well, for another project. And this is the tool that we used to like get started. Um, I just am not sure quite how maintained it is.
I think that was
A note there. There's no commitments that they're going to provide any support and stuff. So um, it's it's kind of like a hit or miss. Like it might be good to use as like a starting point, but then you'll probably pretty quickly get into um, but I don't know if that helps answer your question at all. It's kind of a
Yeah.
vague
No,
answer,
I
but
think yeah, I think that kind of aligns with how I like, or the same kind of journey I've gone down is like, starting with the API server runtime, it provides enough value that you can get something working, but then like as soon as you start, trying to flush things out, you kind of run into these rough edges. And so I guess that's where it almost sounds like people then just transition back to just using the K8s API server dependency directly. Is that the move then? And just kind of trampling back to pulling that upstream dependency directly instead of using this at all. And I guess that's what I'm trying to get my feeling around is what other people are doing and what makes sense.
yeah, I'm honestly not sure there. Like I'm very new to like the whole API server idea because I'm coming from Kubebuilder. Like a lot of it's all like controller CRD based, which is very like the tooling for that is much more fleshed out than actually building an API server. So that may be the direction that ends up being best for your use case is going and directly pulling that dependency. I'll take a look and see at the dependencies for the API server that I had worked on and let you know, or that I'd seen being worked on, and let you know what their dependencies are.
Okay, yeah, that'd be super appreciated.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this project as well. Like I never use it, right? So I cannot help you too much. Maybe do you know if I would suggest like try to ping people that has been contributing with and see. But looking here, seems like they did the last release a few time ago. I don't know if it have no change or was not required a new release. I don't know the status of this one as well. We might be able to try to put in the channel. I would recommend that as well. Like try to put in the channel and see if others is using what they thought. Are they thoughts about that? The mailing list also maybe people can give you more inputs as well.
Okay, thanks.
So just as a quick update, since I said I'd look at the dependencies, I just looked and it doesn't look like they're pulling the Kate's API server dependency directly. It's all the API server runtime stuff that seems to be doing like handling all the stuff that they need. But this package server is also very early in its development, so I don't know if just maybe it's because like those rough edges haven't been hit yet. So
I don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was just gonna finish with saying like again, it's one of those things that like I think a lot of the people here are gonna be more familiar with controllers and CRDs, and so
Yeah.
questions on API server stuff might be better directed at that, like maybe finding an issue, asking questions in that repo, or looking around at maybe different API server project. Like if you can find different open source API server projects seeing what they're doing and maybe even asking some of those maintainers some questions.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I think there was some questions in the Slack, if that's the channel that you guys are talking about. But I think that has mostly fallen on deaf ears. So I was just trying to, see what what channel to kind of pursue it. But this is helpful. Thanks.
Okay. Varsha put it here as well, right? I put it here. Do you like to say something, Varsha?
So this is one of the projects known as KCP, something similar to the Kubernetes control plane, which involves introducing multi-tenancy, and they create a lightweight server, which has the basic objects which are needed for deploying an application. It is kind of a little bit more involved than what I'm explaining. And this project has been working, people have been working on it for the past 2-3 years. Looks like they haven't utilized the Kubernetes 6 runtime library, API server runtime library. So probably you could have a look at their libraries and take a look in case that helps. Just adding it here.
Yeah, no, I did notice that one. I'll definitely take a finer look at that one. Because it definitely looks like they just bypassed and went directly with upstream, which it works. It's just it kind of defeats the purpose of the SIG project, because then you have all that boilerplate to do yourself. But maybe that's the more maintainable way to go.
Okay, that's cool. I think we can move forward for the next one, right? Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
So this one is about this PR, right? One of the problems that we have is like how to upgrade my project, right? I go there, I scaffold the project with the Kubebuilder today, and I would like to upgrade to get the latest changes in these scaffolds, or I would like to move from Go V3 to Go V4. I would like to have something that help me out, right? So the idea of this PR is like do something very simple, like if you will check here, when we do a project, we have been tracking everything that is used, right? Everything that all information provided when the project was done is tracked in this file. So the idea would be like we have a feature, an alpha feature that you will say, okay, I want to get I'll pass the project file, and then I do in the same directory, I'll redo the scaffold with the version of the Kubebuilder that I have installed. So for example, I created the project with 20 releases ago, right? Then I get the latest version of a Kubebuilder. I use the command you check the project file, and then we'll redo the same commands, like create you create a take all directory, move a temporary place, then run Kubebuilder init, Kubebuilder create API, using the plugins, using the same inputs, everything that redo this stuff. Then the user can, for example, compare using git diff or some idea to the master branch and see the difference and to put again the code on top, like just to try to help them to upgrade. So my intention here was like try to share this initiative, see what do you think, folks, and if someone would like to work with. I think the person that started to try to do a POC, to try to do this alpha command, stop to work on that. If someone would like to continue to do the work as well, that is my intention. So first thing, what do you think? What are your inputs? Do you think that is valid? That would be a nice alpha feature? The second thing, if someone would like to work on that, please feel free. Unless everybody here is say, no, that is not a valid feature. It's not something that we can try. So then don't spend time on that at all because you'll not be accepted at the end. What are your inputs, folks?
I think it's a good idea. It sounds really useful. My question is like, is there like, I know I saw Varsha's comment about sort of being separate from the concept of migrating. So like if you have an older version of older project scaffolder with an older version of Kubebuilder and you want to migrate it to a new version, would that be a separate command? Or maybe like in my head, I think that's kind of the more common use case that sort of people would like, right? So would the rescaffold be sort of a precursor to that, or would those be two separate commands? Or I don't know what people think about that.
Yeah. I think we could like that is a good point, right? This alpha command could have like a flag where you could put what is your base plugin, like you want to scaffold with Go v4 alpha, you want to scaffold with Go v5, Go v3. I think that should be valid, right? Because then you redo all stuff, but with a new other plugin version, right? Would that address your idea?
Yeah, it would like so the way I was thinking about it is like, I was thinking in terms of operator SDK, but like say that there's an operator author who's built an operator based on an older version of Kubebuilder operator SDK, and then Kubernetes gets updated and they need to sort of update their operator to work with newer APIs or whatever, right? So is it practical to think of migrate in that way where I can go to my old project and say migrate dash dash, such and such version of Kubebuilder or operator SDK, and then would it be possible to sort of make the appropriate changes reliably for most people?
I think the version of Kubebuilder you cannot pass, right? I think because you need unless we automate the download of the binary and also install for the user a new version of the binary, right? Because
Right.
yeah, that is the point, right? We cannot, but as soon you get a new version of the Kubebuilder or SDK, because SDK uses Kubebuilder, so that would also be valid for SDK for sure. The idea would be like you can use this command and rescaffold everything from the scratch. So you can compare, you can do this stuff.
Got you.
So,
Makes
but
sense.
your idea is very good, right? Because okay, we have two use case, right? We have the use case where we want only the change in the layout provided in the listed versions, right? Use cases. And we have the other one after I try to improve the statement here, but the other one is like when I like I help to migrate from Go V and to Go V, right? Of course, in this case, like maybe has breaking chains and you But at least if you have the whole scaffold by default, maybe that you can help, right? You can compare the things, you can find what you need to do, you can find the change. So
Yeah, definitely it would still be valuable, even if it didn't do it for you, right? Just to sort of regenerate everything in terms of the new version.
to inform.
There was
Oh.
a time when someone was looking at adding this migration, and what they would, I think the idea back then was figuring out what Kubebuilder could actually own, and then what you, the author, would own, and we would only ever update the stuff that we owned. Right now, we kind of lay everything out, and now you touch everything. So there was kind of this, hey, what is scaffolded and what is generated? That I don't know if those notes ever made it anywhere, but that was kind of the idea. That's probably what you would need in order to do this automatically. Um, as it stands now, there's too much unknown to do it.
Right, there's no sort of deterministic way to sort of figure out which parts are safe to move, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that is
Exactly.
this command you do not do that, right? You would only redo the scaffold from the scratch. Only you would recreate the same config project, right? The same configuration of the project, but without the code that was added on top, right? Would be only a helper, but it would not be something so nice like Jesus is saying, like a command that you run and you have it actually all done and in a perfect state, like migrated, like properly migrated, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, but the idea of Jesus is nice. You might, let's see if I might want you to looking for design.
Yeah, basically try to find what Ryan King did. He was trying to propose something for SDK that would generate files and then allow like skeletons to be there that could be modified. I got to drop. See you guys.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. Thanks for the
Looking for a design where we could, how I can put that.
So this is something which I wanted to add to, as Jesus said, is all what we are intending to do here is read the project file, get the API GV, which is the GVK, check if webhooks are scaffolded and call the new command again. But what needs more attention is we have breaking changes between plugin version, not plugin version, between Go V2 and Go V3. So we need kind of proper understanding of what are the things which have been changed between two project files in terms of inferring the APIs and the webhooks which have been scaffolded. So for example, in case of multi-group command, I don't think the previous project file explained each of the GVKs which exist in the multi-group, but we do that in V3. So all these kind of things need to be noted, and we need to figure out the things which we can do and things we cannot infer from V2 project file to push it to V3. If that makes sense.
I'm trying to think, maybe I was writing and I also missed a little bit what your explanation was. So go for it.
The project file has been witnessing breaking changes from V2 to V3. That's right.
Okay,
Am I right
get her.
there?
Yeah, but
So-
V2 is like that is properly what you are speaking is perfectly fine, because the Go V2 is the old version of the project config, right? Doesn't
Yeah.
have all information.
Exactly.
Only from Go V3. So that should, if you will do but Go V2 you want to remove, right? It's deprecated. So if you will do something, should be from Go V3 to upper, right? We don't care about the past.
Oh, cool. Then that makes sense. I was just worried that from V2 to V3, we would probably lose information to scaffold out things.
Yeah, but that is a good point, Varsha. The concern about go into project file does not have all info. It is because that is the only project. However, do we agree that any solution that we might able to do to help in this subject could be valid from V3 plus, right? We can improve the grammar after. Sorry, folks. Yes, organize a little. Okay. But nobody has like objection for we try do this one, because if you try to do this one, we still possible we try to work in an idea like this one in the future as well. Like I think we can try both, right? If you like that one shows simple, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like we don't need maybe that doesn't work perfect. We don't need to like do perfect. If we can be able to do something basically, maybe doesn't support all plugins or no. If you'll be able to do like a Go plugin and create APIs and create webhooks, is a helper already, right? Then after we can implement, change, improve, and see what the others think. Like it's more a POC.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think there's value in doing that bit for sure.
As a case, just track this because others might want to see this document. Everybody or nobody has objections. I'm trying to move the idea of the help there. Awesome. Bryce, do you have this proposal that Jesus spoke about? Do you have this document? He's not here. We can put here action. Right. Check if you Bryce. I'll put here after. If Bryce. Also, nobody has objection like here. Of course, I believe, of course, let me know if not. Anyone try to make a proposal with something like that for we discuss, right? So I think we are exactly in the time. This one we can let for the next one. I really thank you for your attendance, folks. Really thank you for your time. Was great to see everybody here. I just would you like to say that? That was a very productive meeting.
That was awesome. Thanks for leading.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks, Camilla. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.